I do it, one, because I found that financial discipline in myself. So this is my routine.
How'd you develop that?
So growing up, you realize that there's a thread that runs through especially poverty-stricken America, right? And it is that we have no financial structure, right? If everyone is living paycheck to paycheck, right? So let me go back a second for a second. Reaganomics caused so much havoc to that low-income Black community, right?
Why?
Why? So let's think about this. In 1982, the year I was born, Ronald Reagan took 1 million people off of welfare. He took another 500,000 people, kids, out of free lunch, right? The economy went through a real recession in 82. But then in 85, without getting into all of it, 65 tons of cocaine pillaged lower income Black America in the form of crack cocaine. 85 tons that came from Nicaragua, which then was a result of Ronald Reagan being told he could not put illegal guns in Iran. So he supported the South American Contra. Go look that up, it's an amazing story, right? That wreaked havoc. So a lot of times in my culture, we look at slavery and we look at that, and that's cool, but this generation can't identify with that, right? It's too far. But what we can identify with is that everyone from 82 to now has been touched by the crack era. Cocaine, crack, abuse, it separated families. And so now, think about the mindset that came with money during that era, right? Everything was lack, right? You have people trying to work, you have functioning families now broken up by drug abuse, fathers locked up, mothers now with the term crack babies, now another way to separate Black women from kids. So crack pillaged the Black community, especially in major cities, LA, Miami, New York, pillaged them. So now the idea of money is separate. I want you to think about the mindset that you have to have as a man, as a friend. I grew up with this brother, I grew up with his mother, and now his mother is buying crack from me, right? For me to sell my friend's mother crack, what type of mindset, monstrous mindset that has to have, and then that becomes the norm, right? And then from that era, we go to Bush, where now the war on drugs is important, but how can we have a war on drugs if we are now pushing the drugs in this community, right? And then we get to now mandatory minimums, and then we get to Clinton, where we get 3 strikes you out. So now, before we can even deal with the money mindset, we got to deal with the pillage and the breakup of the family that happened. And so now when a family is in survival mode, we can't think about money, because now we're trying to, how is this next meal possible, right? Financial trauma. Financial trauma now is anchored to who we are. So for me, when I was in prison, when I got exposed to, damn, I'm playing the wrong game, I had to look at the pieces on the board. Like, am I a knight? Am I a bishop? Am I a rook? I damn sure ain't the king. So that means I'm a pawn. Pawns always get sacrificed. So if I'm always being sacrificed, how the hell can I win this game? Something got to change. And so one of the things I knew that had to change was my relationship with money.
Because that's how you change what piece you are on the board.
That's how you change what piece you are. And then what happens with the pawn on a chessboard is, if the pawn can find a way to get to the other side of the chessboard, he then can become whatever he wants. And for me, it's the two things, the information and learning how to use money, I can become any piece on the chessboard. And so now for me, once I learned about money, once I started healing my own financial trauma, it was easy for me to now start talking to people about it, but also improving my life. Because now money is not the thing that dictates me, it's the vision, it's the, how do I become successful for the next generations? How do I help the people that I know heal their financial trauma? We can't even talk about money, we can't talk about wealth, we can't talk about winning in this world if we don't disattach ourselves from the things that's keeping us from being successful. And that is, for me, financial trauma. That is a harsh pill to swallow. And just a form of that is, just think about it like this.
Why is that a hard pill to swallow?
Well, because if you think about it, most people like to deflect, right? It's not my fault. You know, think about the years of slavery. Think about this. People like to deflect. They never want to take full accountability for it, right? But healing that financial trauma is saying, yo, check this out. We talked about it earlier. If you have more money under your bed and in your closet than you have in your investment account or your savings account, then that's financial trauma. If you are saying things, if you're doing things like, you know you're barely making it, you know you're living check to check, but for Christmas, you go spend money you don't have to say, well, my kids can have a great Christmas, that's financial trauma, because what you've now taught your kid is it's okay to spend money you don't have to have a good time and then come back later on and have to pay that, or digging yourself in a deep hole. So somebody has to break that financial trauma. If not, the family, the generations that follow will all follow the same suit. And you need one outlier. You need one person that's disruption. You need one person to do that. And if nobody ever does that, you can look at a whole lineage of a people, of a family, and realize why nobody's never changed it. And so for me, the change was, if I can become financially literate, if I can become financially conscious, if I can increase my financial fortitude, then I can not only change myself and my life, I can lead by example and change my family. And then that can have another effect on people around me, my friends, so on and so forth. But it was me being able to heal that financial trauma.